Hello, welcome to Left in the South, episode 14. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Ready to record this podcast. A lot of politics have been happening recently, man.
Yeah, dude, the New Hampshire caucus, right?
Yeah. We're gonna definitely get into that.
And but before that, I just want to talk about a new giveaway. So we're announcing another giveaway this episode. All right, and by the time you should see this episode, the Twitter stuff will be up and more information will be on the Patreon. But to get the gist of it, we're gonna give away 5 total $5 Amazon gift cards. We're gonna be doing 4 of those gift cards to the public, so anyone can obviously enter that one. But we're gonna do a exclusive giveaway just for the Patreon, our patrons, because we say in our Patreon bio we want to give back. So this is our way of giving back. If you're one of our patrons on Patreon, that's like a free $5 gift card.
Yep. Yeah, because there's not many people on there. So basically, like, we want to give away Patreon subscriptions, but we can't. So this is like a different way to do it. We're gonna just like say, okay, if you're a Patreon, we're basically gonna pay your sub for like 1 month or whatever, or I mean, you don't have to use the money for that, but like that's the idea, right? Hey guys, I'm editing the episode here. I just wanted to point out that David accidentally said that we were giving away $5 gift cards, but just to be clear, the gift cards are $10 Amazon gift cards. So go to our Twitter at Left in the South Podcast to find more information about that. Sorry for the error, guys.
Yeah, basically, we have a $1 tier, so like that's like the cheapest tier you can get to become a Patreon, and boom, you're in that exclusive Patreon giveaway. Yep. And Patreon users can double dip into both giveaways. They can do the public one and the Patreon one. They might win both. They might win one. They have more chance of winning.
True.
So yeah, that should be live when that goes up. Also want to talk about the future of our YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
We don't even use it at all. We have the first episode on there, but other than that, it's pretty much bare bones.
But I'm assuming that's going to change in the coming time, David.
Yes. We have a couple of plans. Some more visual content. We have something in the works, but I don't know if it's going to be ready by the time this episode out. Probably not, but next episode. So look out for that. Next episode should be up on YouTube.
Yep. Hell yeah.
And maybe even more special content that is visual.
I am actually really excited for that because the visual medium, you can just do so much with it, and I don't know. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah, but that'll be a lot more work on you, of course.
I'm not worried about it. It's not like I'm doing anything else with my life, David.
I mean, going to school, going to work.
Nah, that's all.
Doing a podcast.
Yeah, it's whatever.
But now that we got that stuff out the way, we can really get into it.
Hell yeah, man. What's been going on recently with you?
I've been really chilling, going to school, going to work, just
Being
flying
epic.
through it right now, to be honest. Watching Always Sunny, actually. This show is so fucking funny, dude.
What season are you on?
I'm on season 9 right now. I've been flying through this show.
He's literally watched like 9 seasons in 3 days.
No, I've been more like a fucking maybe a month or 4 weeks. Like I've been Grunt, our friend, recommended the show to me. I've never watched it before, and this is my first time watching it. It's fucking hilarious. And it's like kind of funny to see like comedy and like humor change like over that period of time, because it's like such an old ass show too.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Dude, actually,
I was surprised when they dropped the N-bomb on the first episode. I was like, what the fuck?
I was just going to say that, like, especially in the early seasons, there's a lot of episodes that are, like, really, like, borderline offensive that I don't know if, like, they would make today. So, I don't know. I like that about the show, too.
Yeah. It's like a time capsule of fucking, humor.
Definitely.
I guess. But, yeah, that show's really good. That's what I've been watching a lot of that.
I
watched, just really hanging out.
I watched that Oscar movie Parasite recently. I know you haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But to our viewers, watch it. That shit was amazing. The director of that movie also wrote Snowpiercer. He wrote that Netflix movie Okja. I never saw that, but I know people liked it a lot. And then he also wrote Memories of Murder and fuck, one more. Oh, the host. Like, this guy is a legend on Earth, and Parasite holds up to all of his standards. It was amazing. It definitely deserved the awards it got. Like, I've been thinking about it all week.
I really like Snowpiercer. I thought it was a really interesting film, and like, it also left a message.
Yeah, like, I've heard like some things about
classes and shit.
People have said about that movie, like, I didn't really like it because it was so heavy-handed. What do you think about that?
I don't know what they mean by that. I mean,
yeah, like I felt like the story was
like
not
that. It was too obvious.
Yeah, like basically the idea is like, when you're making a movie that's metaphorical in nature, like if you make it too obvious, then it ruins it. But like, I did not feel like it was too obvious.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think people are twist projecting.
At the end. I mean, we can spoil it, right? It's been fucking
yeah,
out
yeah.
forever,
You can
right?
spoil Snowpiercer. I wouldn't spoil Parasite though, because some people probably have not.
I've never seen that, so can't spoil if I can't see it, right?
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought the twist at the end was like you didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And maybe a little spoiler for you, but could be I guess you could say a little bit tied to what I want to ask you later on the podcast.
Awesome. Did you know that movie's actually a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Yes, dude. I think we talked about this before. Maybe not on the podcast. We definitely talked about this before.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
The Willy Wonka Snowpiercer theory.
No, definitely, because it was blowing my mind. You guys should look this up right now. The fucking Snowpiercer Willy Wonka theory. It's this theory basically that all of the characters in Snowpiercer are all characters from Willy Wonka, and it works perfectly.
Yeah, it's so fucking insane.
It makes me really think that it is. And, like, I'm pretty sure that they asked the director and he blatantly said no, which, I mean, obviously it's not actually, but it's weird how it works perfectly.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's a really interesting theory. That's, like, the reason why I watched that film, to be honest. I saw that theory, and I'm like, wait,
I love Willy Wonka.
I mean, this movie sounds good as fuck.
It is super good. The part, like, I don't know. Whatever. We don't have to talk about that 10-year-old movie. Let's move on.
I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we
check it out. I think it's on Netflix.
Check it out if you haven't seen it. Also check out Parasite. I'm gonna be watching it this week.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Probably. But on to the New Hampshire news, man. New Hampshire stuff. What's been going on in New Hampshire?
Man, New Hampshire. All I can say is, man, like, 2 down, 48 to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because our boy won.
Yeah, for sure. Bernie Sanders definitely won. Joe Biden actually left the New Hampshire caucus early.
Yeah, it was past his bedtime.
Like at 6 p.m. Yeah, that's I think I was talking to Graham about this. Like, they could spin this the other way. Like, oh yeah, we left early because we didn't want to spend any more time in New Hampshire. We know we weren't going to take the state, so we're going to focus on somewhere like South Carolina, right?
Yeah, somewhere.
So they could say like that, but they left because there was no point being there. Like, actually, because.
Definitely.
Massive amount of Bernie support and surprising amount of Pete support.
Right.
To be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not surprising. It's like.
And Amy, holy shit, third.
Okay, that was surprising. I'm not really sure where all the Amy's.
That's not. She wasn't even from there.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not sure.
I'm like, is she from New Hampshire? How is she doing better than Biden and Warren?
Yeah, no idea, dude. Like, Biden and Warren both getting 0 delegates, like that. It's almost a nail in the coffin of their campaigns. Like, the Biden campaign is practically over at this point. Warren is like,
Warren was already slacking.
Yeah,
and this does not help at all.
Definitely, like the two front runners, I think, are really being solidified. It's weird because usually, like, by this time in the race, there's usually like 2 or 3 people that are pretty much the top people, but like I felt like before, leading up to Iowa, there were definitely like 5 or 6 that I was like, okay, I have no idea who's gonna win this. Like, of course I know in my heart and mind, like, Bernie's gonna take everything because everyone loves him.
But it could go anywhere.
But besides that, yeah, it's
like could Warren be the really competing hard against Bernie? Like,
right.
We see that obviously not.
Yeah, because I mean, I think I predicted that on this podcast, that like the progressive vote was going to be split and it was going to be between Biden and Warren and Sanders. But I mean, I was totally wrong about that, so that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing for Bernie would be if she dropped and she endorsed them, but I don't think she's going to endorse them.
No, she won't. It's sad because I think Biden would endorse him way before Warren does, which is interesting to think about.
Yeah, I don't think Biden's gonna drop he's gonna try going
not until Super Tuesday at the very least. Like, I don't think any candidates that are in right now are gonna drop before March 3rd. So We'll see what happens though. Okay, let's talk about something else. What did you think about the fact that Bloomberg in the most recent poll is in third place?
That's like, it's really showing you that you can literally just buy your nomination.
Yeah,
there's a price literally for everything. It's kind of crazy.
Not only can you buy the election, but when you're that wealthy, you don't even have to actually touch your wealth. You just use the interest that you make on your money to fund a multi-million-dollar campaign.
Yeah, and like, it not only that is he like, even if he doesn't get the nomination by buying it, he purchased a lot of exposure and fucking like, you know, people writing news articles about him. We're talking about him right now.
Well, I mean, not that Bloomberg needs news articles to talk about him. I mean, he's extremely famous, but still, I mean, it's so. I don't know. I mean,
it's basically advertisement. He's buying advertisement.
Yeah,
fucking slots.
The fact that he's able to buy that much support just by putting like television ads is one of the most depressing fucking things about being a human being.
Right, like if you put enough money into it, enough fucking ads, like keep on putting in people's heads, eventually they'll fucking support you.
If you're just in people's ears 24/7, like they get to the ballot, okay, we can talk about this.
They're like, Bloomberg, I heard about him.
Yeah, the most crazy thing to me that I cannot believe, I cannot even imagine living this way, like not making up your mind about who you're gonna vote for president until you go to vote. Like, until you're actually standing in the fucking room to vote, you don't know who you're gonna vote for. Yeah, that's
kind of crazy. Like, I don't even know if that's a thing, though. Like, you're really going to drive, like, you drive your way out to go vote, and, like, and then you're like, and then you're sitting there at the fucking, about to fucking put your vote in, like, who should I vote for? Well, I've never heard of this guy, Pete Edge. You know, it's like...
it's ridiculous.
You would imagine them not voting instead, you know, like, I don't care.
It just shows that Americans like have no fucking ideology. Like they're just voting. It's a fucking popularity contest. Like no one's voting because they have some greater theory about the way that the world should be working or working better for us. It's just like, oh, I saw this guy on TV, but whatever, I'll vote for him. Like it's ridiculous, and like and I know people do it because when the Iowa caucus happened, they were polling people that were coming into the caucus, and something like 20-30% of people were like, yeah, I haven't even made up my mind yet. I'm like, you do realize that you're at the caucus right now, right? Like, who are you gonna support? It's unbelievable. I cannot imagine being that.
It's like people go there to like, all right, who's gonna sway me?
Yeah. What? Like, but how? That's my question. Like, and the answer is buying TV ads and buying fucking like just ads after ads. That's how they get you. And if you vote for someone because you saw them on TV, like that is just sad
and weird.
I want to just ask someone like who said that they would vote for Bloomberg. I just want to ask, like, what do you expect to get out of that presidency, really? Like, what do you think that would be?
I mean, they probably would have no answer for you. Like, even for Pete, like
who
Pete,
is
like,
Bloomberg?
What does Pete even stand for? You know, like, he's very quiet about, like, what he actually wants to do.
At least,
and, like, if you even look at his shit on the website, it's very vague.
Yeah, definitely. And, that's interesting because with Bloomberg, we don't, like, you don't have the luxury of vagary with him. Like, it's very obvious what kind of person he is because he was the fucking, like, governor, or, you know, mayor of New York City for years. So it's interesting that, like, people know his voting record and stuff. Because at least with Pete, again, like, I've said this before on the show, like with Donald Trump, if someone has no political, like, experience...
Well, Pete was a mayor.
I mean, he was a mayor of shit-town Indiana. Like, it's totally pointless. He has no experience governing whatsoever. And not only that, but when he was there, he ran a racist city where the incarceration rate of black people went up by like 20% while he was mayor. So, I mean, that's one thing to think about. And I mean, that's almost analogous with Bloomberg because, like, when Bloomberg, he's the stop and frisk mayor, you know, like, he's the guy who started the stop and frisk thing in New York about how, like, they would go to, like, black people in the street and frisk them. And you know what his justification was for that? He said that,
oh yeah, I heard about this. Yeah.
If we frisk them and they get caught with a gun, then they're not going to bring guns anymore into the street. So he was like, and then he was like, yeah, I mean, we frisk like black people more, but it's just because black people do more crime. Like, he's literally pulling like an FBI crime stats thing, like fucking Sargon of Akkad, and people are unironically voting for him for president of the United States. This country's a hellhole, man.
Yeah, it's definitely fucking strange.
Very
but
strange.
one thing that's honestly I've been seeing a lot on Twitter and a lot that's being talked about is blue no matter what.
like voting for someone, like voting for the
Yeah,
candidate.
voting them no matter who.
Yeah, nah, fuck that shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and say right now, like if it's not Bernie, there's a very low chance that anyone in the Democratic Party is getting my vote personally. And like I know it's kind of a meme to say that, but like it's true, and I think a lot of people think that.
It's crazy because like obviously, you're not gonna vote for fucking Trump. We're not gonna help him win. But this idea of blue no matter what is very dismissive of like Bernie. And it's like, it's just a tool to sway Bernie supporters. Like, hey, like even if fucking Bernie's not going to get it, can you please still vote Pete? Can you please vote him in so you can win? It's like.
Yeah, but if you're a Bernie supporter, you know what the answer to that should be? No, I can't. So nominate my candidate. That should be your answer. And here's the thing about it too, is like, even if you are a blue no matter who, like kind of like lib person, you know, like you can just lie. It's not illegal. No one's going to arrest you. Just lie so that we can get our guy in there. Because the point is like, it may be true that a Warren presidency is better than Trump. I don't doubt that. I mean, the material conditions of the world are going to get better under Warren. But I'm never going to sit on this show or in real life and be like, yeah, vote for Warren. She's great. She's amazing. Like, vote blue no matter who, even if it's Warren. Of course not. It's fucking ride or die time for Bernie. So, like, if you really are going to vote for anyone, just do it in November. You don't have to talk about it right now. You can hide your power level. It's not against the rules.
Yeah. Like fucking, we want Bernie there, dude. Yeah. So we're gonna want Bernie till the end.
Yeah, but like I just like unequivocally, I will not vote for Pete Buttigieg. I will not vote for Bloomberg. I will not vote for Amy Klobuchar. I will not vote for pretty much any other candidate besides Warren or Bernie, and I don't want to vote for Warren. I'm certainly not going to campaign for her. I'm not going to donate for her. That's the big difference for a lot of people, I think. A lot of people that are supporting Bernie, David, I think that they are like that. They are blue no matter who people. But the thing is like with Bernie, they're willing to knock on doors. They're willing to make phone calls. They're willing to
do
donate
everything.
To his campaign.
It's insane.
Like they're willing to volunteer their time and energy. Whereas with people like Warren and, you know, lesser people, there's no excitement whatsoever. It's like, maybe I'll vote for them in November, whatever, I'll just cast my vote, but I'm not gonna be fucking excited about it. And that is the big difference.
Donation average is $18. Like that's a pretty good amount for,
and he's able to
donor.
Raise more than any other candidate, like even knowing that. And like when people like Warren and Pete are getting, you know, $2,700 maxed out donations and they're still not able to keep up with Bernie's donations, like, you know, something's happening. You know.
God, but I really think he'd do it. Like he's polling better than Biden now on a real clear politics, and you know he's doing really well.
He is doing
just a little surprising. Bloomberg is doing better than Warren and Pete right now, which is a little insane.
I'm interested to see how that unfolds, to be honest, because like, I mean, just totally not participating in the first four primaries or caucuses, like. It's unbelievable. It's dumb. It's very stupid. Like it's an interesting political strategy because it's so blatantly constructed just to try to steal the election from Bernie, because Bloomberg knows it has a low chance of winning. Okay, he's not dumb. He wasn't the mayor of New York City, even though he's a racist shithead. He's not like a brain dead idiot. So he knows he's probably not going to win. The point is not to win though. The point is to bleed some of Bernie's support off by, you know, pumping enough money into ads and shit just to allow a more moderate candidate to win. That is entirely the point.
Yeah. Honestly, it's scary. Like, I wonder what's going to happen when, you know, if Amy Klobuchar decides to bounce or if Biden decides to bounce, you know, like those people are probably going to go to Pete.
Yeah, I've heard that before. But I actually think that that's not necessarily true because, for example, with Biden, he has like a ton of black support in America. And if you look at Pete, for example, he's polling 0% practically across the nation among black people, which is not surprising considering his history with, you know, racist policing in his city when he was mayor. So I don't blame black people for not voting for him. I'm not voting for him for pretty much the same reason, even though I'm white. And the point of like, Bernie's campaign is reaching people of all shapes, sizes, colors, and creeds. So when Biden drops out, I think on one hand, I actually think he is going to endorse Bernie, which, I mean, that would practically seal the election. You know, if Biden drops out and endorses
that will seal the fucking deal, dude.
It would be a coronation on Super Tuesday at that point. Like, it would just be the most amazing thing that could happen. But let's say he doesn't. Let's say he just drops out and doesn't endorse anyone. I think a lot of those supporters are actually going to go to Bernie because a lot of black people are not willing to like compromise with Pete. And I mean, I don't know why they would vote for Biden either, but like it's because of his association with Obama, of course.
Yeah.
But like the Bernie is the next most obvious answer, I think. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see what happens with Yang supporters.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Yang dropping out. It's sad. I'm almost sad about it.
Yeah, it's sad. I'm honestly excited to see where he is in the next 4 years.
Yeah.
If he's covering more issues, not being as fucking cringy.
Definitely.
But Bernie isn't running again after he wins in 2020.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Bernie will be able to run again. I mean, he's gonna be like 83.
Yeah, so old. Yeah. Maybe Yang might be. We might be rooting for Yang in the next 4 years.
I've heard some suggestions of people of Bernie putting Yang in his cabinet, and like, as a fucking like red-blooded socialist, right? Of course, I don't necessarily like Yang. I don't like his economic policy necessarily, but like, I don't think that it would be that bad of an idea because I think that UBI is something that really needs to be discussed and sooner rather than later. And I do think it kind of is a mistake of Bernie Sanders and other progressive candidates not to address that. And like, that is the reason that I was kind of less epic to Yang and Yang ganger people, is because I feel like Yang actually, he does say, like, he realizes, just like you and me, that the country is broken and it doesn't work anymore for the regular people. And like, his answer is pretty simplistic and dumb, and like, it's been shown not really to work that well. But the point is that he doesn't deny that the problem exists, and that makes him better than people like fucking Amy and Pete, like, automatically. Yeah. So I was sad to see Yang drop out, but I'm hoping that a lot of his supporters will come to Bernie. And if you're a Bernie supporter, it's time to fucking nut up and stop bullying Yang supporters. Sorry, what?
Yeah, I think, did you hear that H3, he endorsed Bernie Sanders.
Right.
So, like, I'm really hoping, because after Yang dropped, that, that reaches out to, I feel like a lot of Yang, Yang was on his podcast about, like, 3 times, maybe twice. Like, and I'm sure, that he can turn those, like, H3 Yang fans, to Bernie.
Can H3 fans even vote, man? Like, these are children.
I don't know, dude. I mean, yeah. He's just, like, not to shit on his fucking content, dude, but it's like, I think he stopped posting YouTube videos. I think he's just fucking selling podcasts now. But
yeah, he's on Twitch.
I've actually never seen it.
It's because you make more money.
Oh, he's on Twitch? Yeah, you make so much more money on Twitch. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, I can't really blame people for moving to Twitch, but, like, personally, I really don't like that live content shit. Like, I like to be able to watch it whenever I want, right? So
yeah, I feel like pressured to, like, I can't pause this. I have to watch it live,
Yeah, you know Hassan, right? I heard him say that on average his viewers watch his stream for 6 hours. On average. That's insane, that's dude. 6 hours a day. What the fuck?
Yeah. Like, when I'm, like, because usually I'm in Discord, I'm talking to people most of the time. I like pausing my video when I'm talking because I can't talk and watch the video. It's like, it's annoying for me, right?
Yeah, but no, these people just have that shit on all the time, 24/7.
Yeah, all the time. Like, yeah, like,
it's like a virtual
when I'm watching something, I wanna like actually watch it,
No, that's lame. I just want people to talk in my ear so I can feel like I'm not alone.
Yeah, I mean, some people are just there in the chat, dude, just there for the chat experience.
Do you think it's healthy that people, like, use Twitch streams?
Idolize Twitch streamers?
Not necessarily idolize Twitch, like, streamers, but, like, they use it as almost like a virtual friendship, Like, they're acting like, have you ever heard the term parasocial relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that idea.
That's what it is. I mean, really.
Yeah, that really is what it is. But do you think it's healthy?
What's wrong with it?
I think, like, it really... Like, if you're just sitting in your mom's basement, whatever, like, all you do is watch Twitch all day. You don't have, like, any connections with anyone in real life. Like, that has to be pretty atomizing and, like, has to...
I mean, if that's making you happy, well, what is that?
Well, but I don't think it does, though. I think, like, in the short term, like, you get that dopamine from, like, watching the Twitch stream. But I don't think that it makes people happy in the long run because you're not actually developing a relationship with this streamer. Like, you're just paying them money.
Yeah, like, I've been,
it's like going to a strip club
for like a year
and like falling in love with a stripper, But like, but it's different because it's all the time.
I think that's said so perfectly, actually. Like, you can't fucking touch and
Yeah.
not even talk most of the time.
Right. Yeah.
You have to donate for them to see your message.
It's very similar. I'm telling you. It's interesting though. I hope it's not as bad as I think it is, because otherwise there's a lot of like yang gangers out there who are permanently damaged in the brain from like not having any friends. But yeah, like I said though, like if you're a Bernie guy,
endorsement, bro.
With arms wide open, yang gangers, we welcome you to the movement. Okay, the system is broke, so let's fix it together.
And talking all about Bernie, dude. Fucking might as well officially endorse him.
Oh, I mean, I don't think it's a secret. I mean, we love him. If you've listened unironically to this podcast for 12 or 13 episodes and you don't know that we like him by now, like, I don't think you were paying that close attention, buddy. But yeah,
man, I'm glad that I stopped trying to get like Twitter advertisements, dude, because there was no way we were gonna keep our Twitter like fucking like away from politics.
Yeah.
It was just so annoying to like not try to. Honestly, I like, just like looking at these posts and like, fucking just reacting to them, on our Twitter account, get that exposure out there.
I've been pretty late epic on Twitter recently. There's this representative in Tennessee called Bill Haggerty.
I think you touched on this in the last podcast.
Yeah, every time he tweets, like the most dumb, right-wing, like white supremacist shit, right? I always just like, I'm the first one to comment on his tweets. I have a thing on my phone.
You're sniping him?
Yes, I am. I have a thing that notifies me every time he tweets, and I always reply. I'm like, you're the only one that's telling the truth, Bill. Like, you really preach your truth. Are you like
trying to be his friend, dude?
I'm trying to like get him to respond to me, but he won't fucking do it. I think he knows that I'm bullshitting, I think. But we'll see.
That's so funny, dude. Just gotta keep on baiting him, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to like get him in the podcast. Door. See if, oh my god, yeah, I should get him on the pod. I should tell him like, oh dude, oh my god, we can ambush the fuck out of him too. Like we can just hit him with the most ridiculous questions. What is your opinion on pissing
he's like, how do I leave Discord?
Doo-doo ass.
How do I leave Discord? How do I leave this? And
then
he's
like, to call his grandson in the room to help him fucking work the computer.
Jimmy, help me disconnect from Discord.
Oh man.
Fuck. Yeah. That's weird though. That is a little strange.
Yeah, man.
I love Twitter though. I'm starting to love Twitter.
Twitter is Twitter was a bigger mistake than fucking anime, dude.
Nah, dude. I think Twitter is like funny as fuck. And like you can follow so many like people and get like I think it's better than Reddit, to be honest. Sometimes.
Depends on what you want it for, really.
Yeah. I love Reddit though. It's by the way, we have a subreddit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I always make the discussions. Discussion posts to talk about the episodes. Of course, no one ever talks about it, but I'm still gonna keep posting them.
Yeah, I probably should like be involved in the subreddit. I don't know. I always forget that it exists, and then I go and
you
post
weren't even like.
It's
crazy.
Memes on.
We had like 3 members, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm not even a member." I was like,
that was. One of them were, I got in trouble for that.
we got 8 members total right now.
That's not bad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the memes,
the podcast
dude.
is growing low and slow, but I'm happy with it because like I just want to like I just
it's
enjoy
like a baby,
doing
dude.
it. Yeah, like I really have fun doing it, so I don't really care if it takes a long time for people to actually start listening, and like, yeah, I'm cool,
We're
cool
nurturing this podcast into a full-grown podcast.
Yup. Hell yeah, man. Have you ever known anyone who has been possessed by a demon? David?
I had an ex-girlfriend who had skits and she had heard voices and stuff.
I don't think that's possession.
Alright, then no.
Maybe that's where that comes from, though. Do you think?
Like people freaking the fuck out from skits? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this whole like speaking tongues bullshit like really like confused me.
What's the Christians that do that again? The holy rollers.
I don't
Pentecostals. That's what they are.
Pentecostal, yeah.
Yeah, I actually know some Pentecostals. I mean, it is absolutely absurd. Like, how could you be an adult in 2020 and like roll around on the floor and like
go
yeah,
fucking,
people to judge
like you're just supposed to like I looked it up like why the fuck did they talk in tongues is because like the devil can't intercept the prayer because they don't know what the fuck you're saying.
It's like telephone with God.
Yeah. Fucking.
The devil needs to invest in the fucking Enigma machine so he can.
Dude,
break
that's
the
why
codes.
fucking God is ignoring everyone's prayers. You're not doing it right.
Yeah. He doesn't understand the colloquialism. It's been too long.
That's angel speak, dude.
You have a bad earthly accent.
Fuck.
Man, that's
they know what's good.
One of my friends
And like
in class,
the fake, the pre shit, dude. Like the fake, like you know the scripted fucking like healing
like,
people.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, placing my hands on you and like curing your cancer.
Like
that should be
this
illegal.
lady has never been able to. She hasn't been walk her whole life, and I'm about to cure her disability.
The power of the Holy Spirit.
And then they fucking like beat them the fuck up and like slap them, and they're like, and then they stand up.
Okay, no, that's epic though, because like if you were a Pentecostal preacher and like you didn't actually
and you just
believe,
started wailing on
Yeah.
the fucking people.
That's exactly what I would
Fuck,
do, dude. I would infiltrate the church and I would just be like, okay, this is all fucking bullshit, so I'm just gonna beat the shit out of people. Like, oh yeah, I'm healing you.
Oh fuck.
That's so funny. One of my classmates in class like said today or yesterday that like she came home and one of her roommates was like doing an exorcism on one of their other roommates, and she was like, yeah, this. And first thing I thought was like, okay, you didn't like run the fuck away, like you're just okay with your roommates.
Wait,
like,
someone was just getting exorcised?
Yeah,
in
and I was
their,
like,
in their dorm room.
She was so like blasé about that fact. I was like, okay, wait a minute, and so I had to ask. I was like, is this like a normal occurrence? And she's like, well, you know, sometimes when they're like doing drugs or whatever, they like hear shit and they like. You know, they just got to do an exorcism. I'm like, oh, hold the fuck
They
on.
just gotta do an exorcism, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Don't you know, bro? If you hear random shit when you're high, bro, you gotta perform some exorcism on
I'm
you.
like,
Man.
I mean, that's not definitely not an everyone thing, but okay, whatever. Continue with your story. And she's basically talking about how like she was like playing a trick on them by like making them think there was like demons and shit, like making fun of them basically. But like I was just like. If I came home and my roommate was like screaming and convulsing and like doing a fucking exorcism, I'd be like, yeah, you're gonna have to do this outside, bro. Like, I mean, you know, you go your own way, man. But like, this is not the kind of shit that I can have in my household.
Yeah, fuck. Thankfully, I'm not gonna have to fucking experience that dorm life. I'm doing fucking 2 years of community college.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, honestly, living in a dorm, like, it was not the worst time of my life for sure, and like I liked my roommates well enough, especially my first roommate because he was so quiet and just like didn't do anything, and I basically like just stayed in my dorm playing Counter-Strike 24/7, and he didn't talk to me, and I didn't talk to him.
Those were the days, dude. Like,
yeah, those were the fucking days,
I made
man.
some fan art of that guy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean he was a really cool guy. I'm sure he's like probably gonna be like a genius later in life because he was like a genius when we were freshmen in college. He was already like a prodigy at programming before he even like moved into college, so that's interesting. He made me feel inadequate all the time. Yeah, I would always skip class. He was so cute too though, because like I would always skip class and he would like wake me up and be like, yo, are you good, man? Like you need to go to you okay? Like I know your class is coming up. I'm
bro,
like, bro,
that's cute as fuck, bro.
I know, he was so nice and like he was so dedicated
God,
and hardworking, and I just like wasn't.
That's so cute, man.
I
think back. That reminds me. I think back to this one time in high school. Like I was a senior and I didn't need this math class. It was like algebra 2 or something like that. Because I already had, I already had my math requirements. Like fuck it, bro. I'm not doing work this year.
Yeah.
And this kid, like, I was like trying to fall asleep in the class. This kid like kept on waking. He's like, bro, like wake up, bro. The teacher's not gonna like this. I'm like, bro, I don't fucking care. Like I'm literally getting changed out this class.
Yeah.
And then every time I tried to fall asleep, he kept waking me up, dude. I'm like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah. Oh my god, that reminds me so much of my anatomy teacher. Her name was Miss Douglas. Okay, and she was such a crone. She looked like the teacher from fucking Jimmy Neutron. You know, the girl that like the fucking beak bitch. She unironically looked like her in real life, and she was the most annoying like teacher I've ever had. She was so fucking rude to me and like disrespectful, and which I don't give a fuck if people disrespect me. But like whenever the exam came around, the very final exam to pass the class, I had a high enough grade to fail the exam and pass the class still. So I didn't sit the exam, but I wanted to see her face when I did it. So, which is kind of sociopathic, and I'm aware of that, but you know, it was high school, whatever. So I went in and handed in my textbook to her to give it back to her, and I was like, and I started walking out the door, and she's like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "I'm going home." She was like, "What do you mean you're going home?" And I just walked out. And then later on in the day when the exam actually happened,
such a badass, dude.
I felt like a badass too. And when later on I walked out, and one of my good friends at the time, Elizabeth, called me, and she was like, you know that the exam is starting, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm not coming. I was like asleep. And she was like, really? I was like, yeah, I'm not coming. And she was like, oh my god, really?
You knew like the day before, you're like, I'm gonna be such a badass today,
Yeah.
dude.
It was so fucking funny. And then like every time I saw Elizabeth after that, like after that year we graduated, she always talked about how fucking mad Miss Douglas was, how she was like seething with rage. And then when we walked on graduation day, she wouldn't shake my hand, which was fucking amazing.
I mean, I think the reason why she would probably fucking seething is like, I'm pretty sure they get a bonus like if their kids do like well enough in exams, don't they?
Maybe, but she didn't deserve it if that were true.
And then like
so
you
mean.
not just showing up just like pulls that average down, and you like what if she was like
0.
1% away
Oh my
from
God.
getting that bonus?
Good.
Dude, you fucked her in the
She
ass,
treated
man.
me better, man. It's really that simple.
Talking about teachers, man. I remember this. I had this teacher. His name was his last name was Petty John. God, he was a really fucking good teacher. Fucking AP Environmental Science. That guy was like the best teacher I've ever had. Like, he totally understood that like I was a smart kid and I was a good student, but I was just so fucking lazy.
Yeah, you really.
Because I'd never do fucking homework, and like I'd sleep during the classes. But like when like he's like doing notes or like talking about shit that I'm like actually listening.
Right.
And like when the exams came around, I think I like missed an entire page, like one whole page on accident, and he like called me to like go finish it before he like puts the grade in.
That's so nice, actually.
Yeah, it was like over the summer and shit. Like like seniors were out of school already.
Yeah. Wow, that's really
and I was like, wow.
nice. I mean, he did not have to do that either. That's super nice of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good teacher.
I had a lot of good teachers. Honestly, like teachers really do shape your life. It's crazy. And speaking of that, like how you said that he knows like you're a good student, but you're just lazy, you don't want to work or whatever. That's such a common thing because like that was exactly like that for me. That was exactly like that for my friend Matt. Probably for our friend Grunt as well. Like the point is like if you're like a decently well-off person and like your parents teach you shit at home, like a lot of the stuff that you learn in high school is like stuff you already know, so it's very uninteresting. And like when you're, and I get that like they're teaching.
Yeah, you ever had a tutor?
No, I've never had a tutor.
I had a tutor when I was younger. Like, but I had a tutor that like helped me advance though. Right. You know what I mean? Like, my tutor would like actively like so yeah, I go to class, I go to like elementary school, but then I'd go to my tutor and like learn more shit and have to do even more like homework and shit. Yeah. And like I would get homework from my tutor and shit too.
I mean, that probably set you up for success.
Yeah, it did. It really, like, I was, like, such a smart kid, like, in elementary school, like, getting, like, all A's and shit, basically. Right. Like, I was just, like, it really excelled me. Then, like, when I stopped having a tutor, I noticed, like, damn, I'm actually really fucking dumb.
It's not that you're dumb. It's like you have such a head start. I ran into this exact same problem. This really didn't hit me until college. But, like, in high school, everything was such a breeze for me, and everything was so easy that I just never took anything seriously. And when I finally got to college, like, my freshman year, first semester, same thing as high school. My second semester, though, I took an extremely difficult class, and I was just not prepared for what that was like. And, like, I didn't fail the class. I think I still passed it, but, like, it was an eye-opener for me because I realized, like, oh, this is what education could have been the whole time, like, actually something really difficult. And it makes me think back and wonder, like, how cool would it have been if I was able to learn that shit when I was younger? Like, I know it's important for everyone to have the same, like, base level of knowledge. Like, when you graduate from high school, you should know certain things, and everyone should know the same things when they graduate from high school. I get that. But, like, people like me, people like you, people who have access to, like, better education at home, like, we kind of get left behind.
True, just like being on the internet like all the time and just absorbing so much fucking information, like looking at like random facts and shit.
You don't even realize
like,
you're learning.
I know this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And like we kind of get left behind the same way that students who are like really struggling get left behind, because like on our end we're like totally uninterested, we don't give a shit about anything that's going on their end. Like they don't know what's going on, they're lost and they don't understand, and no one will help them and no one will help us. It's like I kind of feel like there should be another kind of like there should be more optional classes in high school for students that are really excelling or have like have better home lives and stuff that are able to get access to education. Or even better yet, let's just eliminate class and make it where every student has good access to a good home life, and then everyone can be like us, and we can all be complacent in high school and just totally not give a shit about anything.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know. It makes me feel bad for kids that are like smart, but I mean, of course I feel worse for kids that are like dumb and poor, but I also feel bad for kids that are smart, so it sucks for everyone.
Yeah, and like what you notice about too going from high school to college is that like there's no more people who like aren't there that don't want to be there, you know?
Yeah, like
people who are there want to be there,
especially.
Yeah,
like freshman classes, there's a lot of like fresh out of high school people, just like I was, that are, like just don't give a shit at all. Like that's whatever. I mean, their parents are paying for it. It's whatever. Like once you get to like over 200 level classes, every single person that's there, you know, it's because they want to be there, or at the very least, they need to be there. You know, so like they're actually trying their best, and they're cool.
Like normal people.
That's why I love Japanese class, because all the people there are there to learn a language. They're not there to fuck around and goof off. Like we're all there to learn a language together, and it's a really cool experience.
I totally fucked up when I first went to college. Like
I think everyone does, to be honest. Like everyone like you, everyone like me, and like you, everyone like us. Everyone fucks up their first little bit, because, like I was saying, like it's just totally a shock when you get here and everything's different, and you just don't understand anything, and you're like, or you understand the material, but you don't understand how to like get a good grade, because in high school it's totally different how you get a good grade. And I don't know, it's really easy to fuck
for
up.
me was like I had morning classes and I scheduled like for morning classes all the time, so like I just wasn't getting any fucking sleep.
Yeah.
And like plus that, like not sleeping at all and like working 40 plus like hours a week was like literally fucking killing me.
Right. Yeah. I hate having to
I'm like,
work.
fuck it. I said, fuck it. I'm like, you know, do I want to go to work and make money, or do I want to go to class and like fucking, you know, like I'm not gaining anything right now.
Right.
You know, it's just a waste of time currently.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna work.
Like 2-year degree or a 4-year degree?
I think the network administrator, the job that I want to do, it's an AA and like doesn't require like a bachelor's.
Oh, cool. So you'll be done in 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I can get that job, but like, you know, if I can't get that job with an AA, I'll obviously go for another 2 years to like get a bachelor's,
right?
So I can like actually secure a job somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if I can get the fucking dude, like I just want to fucking work and like get my like, you know, grunts have been talking about, just get my life started, dude. Finally, just fucking like stop having to worry about that shit and just worrying about making chang money.
Yeah, definitely. I have such a hard time working right now. I mean, this is
because I got a taste of that life, dude. I was literally just working and fucking like just working and like living.
Yeah, but
and,
like
I think I was a little happier, to be honest.
Really? You were happier working for like that little money?
Well, I wasn't making that little money.
Well, that's because you have no expenses though. Like you would never.
I literally had zero. Yeah, I literally had like zero expenses. I was making $2,000. I was making $2,000 a month though.
Damn, actually, that's insane. I didn't realize.
I was making $100 a day, and like half my money that I was receiving was untaxed tips.
Parody. That's not true. Shit.
Allegedly, though.
But Epic admitting to federal crimes on a fucking podcast. Cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's funny. Anyway, yeah. Sorry for the tangent about school and shit. I think that's a really interesting topic, and like I definitely have thought about that. But it's cool. Let's move on. What else do you have to talk about, David?
Okay, so another thing that we've been meaning to always talk about on the podcast, but always forget to do. Riot. I want to talk about Riot Games, and I want to talk about Legend of Runeterra. I want to talk about the project. What's it called? Project A1 or what it's called?
The
FPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the esports scene in general.
Okay.
I think we can get a good discussion out of this. So first of all, what do you think about Legend of Runeterra? I know you've played it a bit. I've played it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been playing it much lately because I'm super busy. But I can see myself definitely like coming back to it every once in a while and just chilling and playing it. It's just a cool, chill game.
Yeah, I actually really like how it takes aspects of Hearthstone and
Magic.
And Magic together, and it's really interesting.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, and the other title that they're working on, the project, I don't know what's called. I'm just going to... Isn't it called Project 1?
Let's call it Project Shadow. 'Cause
Anyway,
that sounds epic.
yeah.
I don't know if that's what it's
Riot's
called.
FPS game that they're making.
Right.
I'm honestly pretty excited for it. I've been like needing a FPS game in my life for a bit now.
What do you think
Ever
about the
since I
fact
stopped
that
playing Counter-Strike.
What do you think about the fact that Counter-Strike has actually been doing really well lately? Like they've been consistently putting up new records for the amount of players and stuff like that.
I don't know if it matters. Like, I think it's them making it free really helped.
Yeah, I agree.
So like, there's no more like you have to pay to play now. It's just free to play. But like matchmaking is so bad.
Definitely.
Like, I wish it was better. Like they do so little game changes that like it doesn't really impact the game. Like on a bigger scale, like for how long people have been asking for like an elo to show you the fucking elo, or like any fucking like explain like what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
There's so many like myths like, oh, if you surrender it doesn't count as a loss, like all that shit on Counter-Strike.
If nothing else, for like people who are a fan of Counter-Strike kind of games, like competitive shooters, if nothing else, the Riot shooter should excite you just for the fact that it's a nice competition from a big successful company that has money.
Yeah, so it's good for all FPS, like big FPS titles.
Yes, exactly. And like,
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it shouldn't be that way, but that's just how it is. And like, since Counter-Strike just basically controls that entire sector of the esports market, like that game just has no incentive to get better ever.
Yeah. And like that's one of the reasons why I really stopped playing it. Like they don't do the shit with the game, and like it's just not fun anymore to me. Like I remember playing that game and like being in a 1v whatever situation, like your heart beating, and like really hard, and like you're super fucking focused, and then like actually winning the round and being excited.
Yeah, and then 1,000 hours passes and your heart beats a little slower, and then 1,000 more hours and 1,000 more hours passes until you don't feel anything. And you're just winning.
You just
every
get
round.
mad, and you're just always mad.
Exactly.
You're just always mad.
That's how it works, dude. That's how it
Everything.
works. So sad. But
I've been playing
what
League
do
of
you,
Legends,
what do you think
actually.
about esports, though? Do you think esports like is destined to actually become a fully fledged, like respected sport, or do you think it's kind of stuck in this place forever?
No, I think esports are actually getting more and more popular every year, I feel. And like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
eventually, like something you're gonna be asking in normal conversations, like who your favorite esport team is.
Really,
teams.
you think it's even gonna be that ubiquitous? That's a bold prediction. I think I kind of agree though, because like, I mean, the more and more like people that are getting raised up playing these games, like they're not gonna want to be good at soccer anymore. They're gonna want to be good at League of Legends instead. Like,
Yeah. I've been playing League of Legends like a lot lately. I'm actually really liking it. Blitz is like super helpful. Like it took all the fucking parts I hated about the game and not knowing anything, or like having to do shit, and like you just focus on playing the game. Like I like MOBAs. Like I always liked Smite. I thought Smite was a good game. Like that was like one of the first MOBAs that I actually put in a lot of hours in.
Yeah, Smite's interesting for sure. I just really hope that Riot does not like fuck us over on the first person shooter.
Dude, honestly, I don't think they are, dude. Like they
Yeah,
have
like,
the
for all the
money,
shit that
they
people
have
say
the
about
people, and Riot does like a lot of good shit. Like you never hear like complaints from Riot, like other than like community shit. There's been the big Tyler one like ban,
Right.
but not really. Like,
But as far as their
this game
games
fucking
go,
sucks.
like they usually make good games and they consistently update them, and there's always fresh
and
content.
balances and like TFT, like too, like the whole new part of the game.
Yeah.
Which is way better than like League, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the new model. Is like you don't create new titles anymore. You create one title and then you consistently update it. I mean, I think Fortnite did this the best out of any company or any game. But like people are
true. Fortnite Chapter 2 was insane. Like everyone like they did such a bold move by like taking down the game for like I believe like 3 days or something like that.
Yeah,
like hyping up like.
I mean,
Chapter
shit. It made
2.
me pay for the fucking pass.
Yeah, me too. like we never played Fortnite ever, and we heard about this and like this Twitch stream, and it's like super interesting.
Yeah, it was a genius.
And then like.
Thing.
Yeah, and like one thing that I actually got super interested in about Fortnite was like there's like actual fucking lore, and I never thought there was like Fortnite fucking lore.
It's kind of cringe to like say it out loud, but I totally agree.
Yeah.
It was really interesting, and like if other companies could do that, like we could have awesome games to play at all times. But I don't know. I guess it takes a lot of money, I guess, but you know, whatever.
Did you hear about the Google Savita thing, or what it's called? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
where
like
they stream games and like you can play it and like you can stream these games on the highest settings because it's
like cloud gaming.
Cloud gaming.
That was the thing. Like,
and like you have
ago.
access to like a lot of to any titles basically.
Yeah.
And
I like the idea of that, but like it's just not gonna be possible.
And it's like no delay.
Well, but there is delay though. It's like they created this new algorithm that is specifically made for cloud gaming that has the lowest possible latency, like the lowest possible latency.
Yeah, it's basically
that's mathematically
undetectable.
Possible. Right. Yeah. So it's like, but there always is going to be latency because like no matter what, your internet connection is the limiting factor. So like, I just think it's very interesting that they're investing in this kind of technology, knowing that like the average
and like
American
it instant launches, like
terrible
too.
Internet.
Like
the game
instant, the game like instantly launches.
Yeah,
because it's just always fucking on.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I'm sure it'll be better eventually, but like as it is now, cloud gaming is pretty bad.
And the whole thing was like you can like play on fucking anything, like your phone, your fucking TV, and like your computer. It doesn't matter.
Hell yeah, man.
But going back to Riot Games, like, what do you think about like them potentially forming a esports monopoly?
I mean, I don't think that that's a real danger right now. But if their FPS comes out and it just totally dominates the market, then they're gonna own the most popular FPS and the most popular MOBA, which are like two of the most popular esports kind of games. You know, so like,
dude,
if that
really,
is
like,
to happen, then yeah,
hitting
it would be
Blizzard
kind of
too, like. Card game as well.
Yeah.
Like I've even heard like rumors of an MMO.
Yeah, there've been rumors of like a League MMO for years though, so I wouldn't put too much weight on that. But if let's say that they did release it, like that would basically mean that Riot has a game in every space that exists, basically.
Yeah.
Which is
and
dangerous.
honestly, it's like interesting to see though. Like they're really dipping their hand, and like, you know, they opened up in the last like year like so many new projects. Like, you know, the anime, the fucking like they're just really going everywhere.
Yeah, I wonder why.
The card game
what
FPS.
changed? I wonder.
I don't know. They're like, fuck it, boys. Like we got all this money. League of Legends is like one of the most popular games in the world. Like why not? You know.
It is the most popular game in the world, actually. It has the most players of any game, which is interesting because it's ass.
Yeah, isn't like Minecraft like second?
Minecraft is the most purchased game of all time, but League of Legends is free, so there are more players that play League of Legends than play Minecraft. But yeah, Minecraft is the game that sold the most copies of any game ever. It overtook Tetris, I believe, in like 2018 or 17 or something.
Yeah, absolutely insane though. But so I just want to talk about that. You know, games. We're gamers.
Hell yeah, we'll definitely come back to this topic. I like talking about esports because it's kind of like a microcosm of entertainment in general. Like, it's a very Zoomer kind of thing, but it's like it's a new thing that's happening and it's developing like in front of our very eyes. So it's cool to look at it because, you know, it's actually happening right now. We're not just looking back at it, talking about it in the past. Like, it's actually something that's happening right now. So anything could happen. So I actually think esports is a really interesting topic. So we'll definitely come back to this and discuss more.
You know, I always want to talk
esports
about shit that's actually interesting, like that's actually going on, like with us most of the time. You know,
Right.
like we're always like hanging out with our friends, like trying to find a new game to play.
Right. Yeah. It's one of our favorite pastimes is not playing games while we look for games to play.
Looking for a game to play for hours and deciding
And then
not to
going
play
to
any games
sleep.
because it's too
Yeah.
late. Yeah. Actually, though, one thing I want to talk about, me and Grant actually found a really good game. We've been playing it today before we started recording this podcast, called Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem. And it's a RPG, and it's a classless, and it's just based on where you want to put your attribute points and where you want to put your skill points. And it's like we played for like 3 hours straight today, almost 4 hours, and like I'm having a really good time with it. It's actually really fun.
Oh, it looks like Diablo.
Co-op game. Yeah, it was surprising. Like it's actually very much like Diablo.
Yeah, I love Diablo. I'll have to check this out.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, I mean, like, you know, just want to talk about games, really, for a bit.
But yeah, David, did you bring any philosophy questions this week? Are you gonna hit me with something interesting?
So I wanted to talk to you about the something I wanted, like, it was a burning question on my mind. I've asked a couple of guys in the Discord already, but I want to ask you. Okay, so let's get this. Here's the scenario.
All right.
You're a father. Your
Okay.
wife was pregnant and she just gave birth to a newborn baby.
Okay.
If you eat that baby in the next 24 hours, you'll gain permanent flight for the rest of your life. Would you eat your baby?
Oh, I fucking would, dude. I so would. It depends on if I would get in trouble, though. Like, if I'm going to go to jail or
this is like like everything's real life, but like, if you eat your baby, you get permanent flight, dude.
Okay, so like I would
creative
still have to
mode in
hide
Minecraft.
I would still have to hide the kill. Like, I would still have to get away with
You killed
the
your
murder.
baby, and your wife doesn't know about this. Like,
Oh,
only
shit.
you know.
Well, I would tell her, though.
But then would she let you eat the baby?
I don't know. It's debatable. I think she wouldn't, which is bullshit. But I'd probably still do it anyway.
But now, to further this scenario, what if you let that baby live? The longer you live, the more powerful you get when you consume the infant.
That's a genius question, David.
So the question is, when do you eat your kid? Do you let your kid get old enough to obtain like Superman god tier powers?
Oh my god.
Or do you?
How old would
just
they have
not
to be
kill
for
the kid?
me to like eat them and just be like a god? Like
I'm
like
thinking
10?
elderly.
Oh my god, really? Okay, I thought maybe like 5
yeah.
or 6, 10 years old maybe. Post.
Yeah, the later in years you let them live, the stronger you get.
Okay, so like if I let them to live to be like 30, I would literally be like a god amongst men.
Yeah, you'd be like the most powerful man alive.
Okay. Oh fuck, man. I don't know. I probably wouldn't like kill a 30-year-old person, but like I mean a newborn baby. What's the difference between a newborn baby and like a rock? You know? No offense to babies out there if we have any baby listeners.
Yeah, this was Grunt's take basically. Like, he's like, it's all right, the fucking baby has no conscience, this is experience.
I mean, like at
dude,
least be humane about it. Like, I'm not gonna torture it to death and like slam it on the fucking ground or something. But,
yeah,
like,
I said you have to eat you have to eat at least 80% of the baby. You don't have to eat the baby bones, but you have to eat most of the baby.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I would, which is kind of fucked up. But like, I'm pretty sure I definitely would. Why would you not?
I know, I definitely would.
Okay.
The thing is, so like I would, but like in real life, would I? Because
Right.
you have to talk to the wife. Does your wife want to do it? Does she want you to allow?
Can you
to
share
eat the
like your
baby?
powers? Could you do like half and half
No,
with your wife?
No, you'd have
And,
to
like, you both
consume the
get half?
baby. It only works
if you eat
it's
the
only
whole
you.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, 80% at least. You don't have to eat the baby bones, of course, but most of the baby.
Gotcha. Okay.
I would, but I don't know if I would in real life. I don't know if I'll be able to in real life. My wife.
It's pretty horrific. I mean, like it's pretty horrible.
Like, let me eat the baby. Before you ask me a question, like I know you think I'm fucking insane right now, but I need to eat your baby. Like,
yeah.
Like trust me, and then you just gotta. I'll show you after I eat the baby.
To get away with it, you would definitely have to plan it beforehand too. Like, because if you have a kid like in a hospital and then you come home and you
have 24 hours.
Yeah, and if you immediately dine
kid.
on them, like you're gonna get caught no matter what. Basically.
Yeah, like your wife's gonna have to know what.
So your wife has to be
happen.
in on it from the beginning. Like from the moment she's pregnant, you have to run it by her. Be like, okay, babe, listen.
Yeah.
I know you're carrying this child to term for the next almost year, but if I eat this kid, I'm gonna be able to fly around like fucking Batman or Superman. So,
true, dude.
Like you gotta have some kind of compromise there, right? Maybe pay them money or something. Be like, look, I'll give you $5,000 cash if you let me
to your
eat
wife.
this. Yeah, why not?
Fuck. Just purchase. Let me purchase your womb, please.
I think anyone who says they wouldn't is probably lying.
True.
To be honest.
Fucking liberal.
I think if the kid was over like if they were not a newborn, I definitely would not do it though, because like at that point, it's pretty immoral.
Yeah, it's so tantalizing. That it's like, God, if I fucking eat you right now, I could be so fucking strong and like powerful. Like,
dude, it would be in the back of your mind for their whole life, dude.
Exactly.
If your kid
dude.
like did something dumb, you'd be like, all right, that's it. I'm eating this
you're
bitch.
getting eaten. You're getting eaten.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
That's it. You fucking pull out your fucking fork and knife.
Yeah. You know in Disney's Tangled, where like she brushes her hair and it makes her young forever? It'd be like that, but like you have to kill them to do it, right? So like you just hold it over their head the whole time.
Like, would you like? I feel like you'd have problems being attached to your kid, because like if you do plan to eat him at a later age to become more powerful, like you're still gonna, that's still your son. You're still gonna treat him like your son till then.
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like if I was planning on eating someone, I probably wouldn't like have this deep attachment to them, which is why I wouldn't be able to kill.
But then it'd be weird though. Like your wife's like, why aren't you being attached to our child? And then like, what if you fucking get divorced and now your power,
oh my god,
is further away?
She gets custody of the kid, and then you have to hunt him down like wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, not wanted, but the other one. Anyway.
Yeah. Fuck. God, but
that's
it'd be
a
so
really good question.
Yeah, like what if like you get into like a fucking like an accident, like you have to eat each other, and you're like, fuck, I've been waiting for this day forever, and then you finally able to morally eat your son.
Yeah, well, but even if you had an accident and like your son died or something,
it's like, why'd you eat your son, and why didn't you let your son eat you?
It's not like it's legal to just eat them anyway. It's like, oh, my son's dead, I'm so sad. Can I please have the body so I can fucking eat it?
But then, dude, who's gonna fucking stop you after you become a god, though?
Fair enough.
No one will be strong enough to stop you. Like, imagine be able to fucking get shot in the eye like Superman and like just walking away from it.
Just not caring. I guess like there is a certain point where it's like, do I even care what the consequences of my actions are at this point because I'm gonna be a god? Oh man. Yeah. That is such a good question.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how I thought. I don't even know what led me to think about that, but it was a discussion we were having.
I'm gonna start asking
earlier.
people that, like in class, probably. I'm gonna ask the girl tomorrow, the one that told me about the exorcism. I'm gonna ask her tomorrow what she would do, and I'll let you know. I'll get back to you. That's so fucking funny.
So that brings us to the end of the podcast, though. I feel like this was a really good episode, as always. I want to thank our Patreon supporters, Grunt and Tim. We really appreciate the support, as always.
And don't forget, if you want to win more giveaways, you should subscribe to the Patreon. Just paying $1 a month, it makes it where you can participate in all of our Patreon giveaways. So it's definitely
Patreon exclusive giveaways.
Exactly. So,
and there's gonna be less people than that, higher chance to win. We have a $1 tier, so if you're interested, hey,
hit us up on Twitter.
You find $1 on the floor every month.
Yep, and check us out on Twitter to see more details about the giveaway. So.
Hell yes. And with that, thank you for listening to the podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.